This is History Replay, this day. Let's start with the signing of some very important documents being signed. Now, have you ever wondered how a single act, a mere stroke of a pen, could change the fate of millions? A beautiful landscapes of the Caribbean islands. It's August 23, 1791. The Caribbean island of Saint-Domingue, known today as Haiti, is one of the richest colonies in the world, a gem in the crown of the French Empire. In the lush landscapes of Saint-Domingue, vast plantations stretched as far as the eye could see, teeming with fields of sugarcane, coffee shrubs, and the vibrant blue indigo plants. The lifeblood of these plantations were the countless African slaves who toiled under the oppressive sun. Their hands and feet shackled not just by chains, but by a system that saw them as mere commodities. It was their unceasing labor that churned out immense quantities of sugar, coffee, and indigo, commodities that were shipped to European shores. These products became essential cogs in the burgeoning European industrial machine, fulfilling the continent's growing luxury demands and bolstering its economic prosperity. Amidst the shimmering facade of prosperity that the plantations of Saint-Domingue presented, there lurked a harrowing and somber reality, the institution of slavery. Forced into chains and servitude, African slaves, the unsung heroes of the island's thriving economy, were a silent majority, greatly outnumbering their colonial oppressors by almost a 10-to-1 ratio. Daily, they faced relentless toil and unimaginable hardships, their lives dominated by the whip and the unyielding sun. Yet, despite the crushing weight of their bondage, an indomitable spirit persisted deep within them, a flicker of resilience and hope that refused to be extinguished. Deep within the dense and shadowed expanses of the northern forests of Saint-Domingue, a clandestine stir of rebellion was taking root. The thick canopy overhead, with its intertwined branches and whispering leaves, became the cloak of secrecy for those daring to challenge their fate. At the heart of this nascent uprising was Boukman, a figure revered and respected among the enslaved populace. His charismatic leadership and passionate fervor for liberation drew many to him. Recognizing the collective yearning for freedom, Boukman summoned the bravest souls for a covert assembly, intending to sow the first seeds of a revolution that would change the course of history. Voodoo ceremony in the woods, surrounded by trees and a bonfire in the middle. As the dark curtain of night descended on August 23, the secluded region of Bois Cayman became a fervent ground of unity and resistance. With rhythmic drumming echoing through the forest, setting the pulse for the evening, and evocative chants filling the air with a mix of desperation and hope, the enslaved community congregated in a sacred circle. The very atmosphere was charged with anticipation, a collective breath held in the shadowy gloom. At the center of this spiritual gathering, rooted in the traditions of voodoo, stood Boukman. His voice, resonating with the weight of their shared history and the promise of a brighter dawn, issued a fervent and impassioned plea to his brethren to rise, to unite, and to reclaim their stolen freedom. The slaves communicating secretly, passing messages and planning. In the secluded enclave of Bois Cayman, beneath the moonlit canopy, a ceremony, drenched in symbolism and deep-rooted tradition, became the very catalyst for change. This gathering was not just another spiritual ritual, but the inception of a fervor that would engulf the whole island. The energy and resolve that emanated from that night's ceremony ignited a flame, setting in motion a series of events that would crescendo into the Haitian Revolution. This uprising wasn't just another footnote in the annals of history. It stood apart, marking its significance as the sole instance where the chains of enslavement were shattered, leading not just to fleeting freedom, but to the establishment of an independent nation, founded on the principles of liberty and justice. As news of the initial revolt permeated through the plantations and settlements of Saint-Domingue, the spirit of rebellion caught on with an intensity reminiscent of a raging wildfire, uncontrollable and consuming. The enslaved, fueled by years of pent-up anguish and a newfound hope, began to rise in unison against the colonial chains that had bound them for so long. They were not armed with the sophisticated weaponry of their oppressors, but they marshaled whatever was within their grasp, farming tools transformed into instruments of defiance. Rudimentary weapons crafted from the very resources they were forced to extract. And perhaps most formidable of all, their sheer overwhelming numbers. This collective surge, powered by desperation and determination, threatened to topple the established order. As the tides of the Haitian Revolution swelled, it was not just chaos and violence that surged forth, but also the emergence of visionary leaders who would steer the movement with purpose and direction. Among these figures, Toussaint Louverture, once shackled in the very chains of enslavement that the revolt sought to break, rose to prominence, becoming an emblematic face of the revolution. Possessing an astute understanding of both military strategy and political maneuvering, Toussaint's genius lay not just in his battlefield prowess but also in his diplomatic tact. He became the linchpin that drove the rebellion forward, navigating the complexities of the revolt with a clarity of vision, ensuring that the flames of freedom burned brighter with each passing day. As the echoes of the Haitian Revolution reverberated beyond the shores of Saint-Domingue, the global stage was wrapped in attentive observation. European powers, with their ever-expanding imperial ambitions, perceived in the island's tumultuous upheaval a potential chink in its armor, a vulnerability ripe for exploitation. The Spanish, with their long-standing New World interests, the British, ever eager to expand their colonial dominion, and not to be outdone, the mighty forces of Napoleon, representing the pinnacle of European military might, all cast covetous glances toward the embattled Caribbean jewel. Each, in turn, made concerted efforts to assert dominance over the island, hoping to harness its riches and quell the flames of revolution that threatened the established colonial order. In a saga marked by overwhelming adversity, the indomitable spirit of the Haitian revolutionaries illuminated their path to an improbable victory. Facing monumental challenges, both from external powers and internal strife, their struggle was punctuated by fierce battles, heartbreaking betrayals, and shifting alliances that would test the mettle of even the most seasoned warriors. Yet, with unwavering determination and a unified vision of liberty, their resilience bore fruit. In 1804, after a grueling 13-year odyssey of blood, sweat, and tears, the island nation emerged from the ashes of colonialism. Haiti was proclaimed a free republic, a beacon of hope and testament to the power of collective will. Governed by and for its own people, marking a transformative chapter in the annals of global history. On the pivotal day of August 23rd, amidst the simmering tensions and suppressed cries for justice, the first spark of a monumental revolution was ignited. This was not just any revolt, it was a transformative upheaval that would transcend the boundaries of one nation, resonating globally. As Haiti fought to unshackle itself from the chains of oppression, its revolution became a clarion call that reverberated across continents. Empires with their sprawling territories and seemingly indomitable might were challenged, and were forced to reckon with the indomitable spirit of a determined people. More than just a political and military struggle, the Haitian Revolution became a beacon of hope, an enduring symbol that inspired countless others languishing under the yoke of oppression. Reminding them that the dream of freedom was attainable. History Replay, this day. If you are new here, don't forget to like, share and subscribe so that we can bring you more videos like this. And join us next time, as we dive deep into another pivotal moment from the history's pages. Thanks for watching. We will see you in the next episode.